Okay, guys, this story happened a little while ago, but I found it bizarre, if that's the word we're gonna use for it. So I figured you guys should hear about this. It says here, mom's beatings, okay, plural, led to death of South Daytona boy 4 years old. According to his mother, his mother said, "I guess I whooped him too much," according to police reports. South Daytona, a 4-year-old boy who police say suffered torturous physical abuse at the hands of his mother and her boyfriend, was found dead, and the South Daytona couple is charged with aggravated child abuse. Mikkia Shardae Lewis and Joe Gennard McCaskell were arrested Friday and booked into the Wasilla County Branch Jail, each with bail set at $50,000. The couple are accused of abusing the child, identified in the report as Ke'Andre and Casey. Between April 1st and the 15th, an official at the school the boy attended identified him as Ke'Andre Coleman. Paramedics were unable to revive Ke'Andre on April 15th and believe he had died several hours before. McCaskell, 32, had called 911 shortly after 1 a.m. that day, and when police arrived, they saw Lewis, 22, trying to put clothes on Ke'Andre. "I guess I whooped him too much," Lewis told detectives during an interview, according to the report. 2 days before Ke'Andre died, Lewis said she also told her son that she gives up and "I don't want you anymore." A medical examiner needed a full day to take note of all the injuries, including bruises on multiple parts of the boy's body, as well as his face, scrapes, scratches, and scabs on his stomach, a cut on the inside of his lip, several crescent-shaped cuts around his armpits, shoe impressions all over his body, a red and swollen bottom with open sores, a mutilated left nipple. According to the report, the medical examiner told officials the crescent-shaped cuts were consistent with fingernail impressions. After the external exam and autopsy revealed hemorrhaging in the boy's thighs and shoulders that appeared dislocated, according to the report. The medical examiner told the officials the injuries were not suffered from a fall down the steps, as Lewis told police. Police Chef Ron Wright said additional charges are expected pending the final result of the cause of death. "There were signs of abuse all over the place," Wright said. The boy's biological father, who Wright said is a 25-year-old Andre Bullock, told police he had not seen his son during the 2 weeks before his death, according to the report. Lewis and McCaskell admitted to causing the boy's injuries, but Lewis also said she was the primary disciplinary and was recently having trouble with the boy's behavior, according to the reports. The couple also admitted to forcing the boy to hold positions for 30 to 45 minutes, including standing in the corner with his arms raised above his head, keeping his back against the wall, and squatting with his knees bent and arms outstretched, and holding himself in a raised position. McCaskell, who started crying and had the pause while describing the abuse, said his girlfriend had been abusing the boy long before he'd ever met her, according to the report. Valerie Jerry, Lewis's aunt, said her niece and the actions of her niece were stupid. Well, that's real educational. "She wasn't acting like a grieving mother to me," Jerry, 51, said when she saw her niece after Ke'Andre's death. "She just always had a nonchalant attitude." Residents of Sunrise Harbor Apartments, 1920 South Palmetto Avenue, were barely aware of Ke'Andre even existed. Conda Taylor said she saw the boy when the couple first moved into the apartment. Other than that, I'd never seen the child come outside. Jerry said Lewis told her Ke'Andre didn't need to go outside because he had enough things to play with inside the apartment. Brian Keith, who lived in one of the apartments next door to Lewis and McCaskell, said he was sick to his stomach after hearing about the boy's death and the abuse he suffered. Kenneth, 57, said after the boy was found dead, residents of the complex were hugging and consoling Lewis outside. He said he doesn't think Lewis told them the whole story because if he knew, they probably wouldn't have been hugging and consoling him. When detectives interviewed the boy's teacher, Cynthia Johnson, and Susan Gilmore, both women said that they had not seen any injuries during a routine health check April 11th, and the boy was running and playing with classmates, according to the report. They said he was a normal 4-year-old boy. The boy has been attending East Volusia II Head Start in Daytona Beach. He was enrolled as a 3-year-old on August 20, 2012. According to Head Start Executive Director Heidi Rand, she said she did not know the child individually as the program has more than 900 students. She did say that Ke'Andre's teacher, Johnson, was extremely upset. She loves her children and takes everything to heart. Chief Wright said the boy was Lewis's only child and McCaskell has 5 children of his own. Oh, that's nice. He also said the couple had just moved into the apartment in the 900 block a few weeks prior. No additional information about McCaskell's 5 children was immediately available. That's the general story. I'm going to see if there is any other information here. Let's see. Here they're saying the man accused of beating his girlfriend's 4-year-old son to death was spared a possible death sentence on Thursday when a jury found him guilty of a lesser charge than first-degree felony murder. The panel of 9 women and 3 men deliberated for 12 hours on Wednesday before being sequestered overnight in a hotel. Then at 10:14 a.m., 24 hours after they started, Joe McCaskell, who was charged with first-degree felony murder and aggravated child abuse in the death of the 4-year-old Ke'Andre Coleman, was found guilty of third-degree felony murder and aggravated child abuse. That means McCaskell will not face a possible death sentence. It was either that or mandatory life in prison without parole. He had been found guilty of first-degree murder. McCaskell will instead face up to 15 years in prison on a third-degree felony murder and 30 years of aggravated child abuse. Circuit Judge Matt Foxman has yet to set a sentence date. We are disappointed that it is not first-degree murder, but we respect the jury's decision. McCaskell did not show any reaction to the verdict when it was announced. But one of his attorneys, Gonzalo Adrix, moved his head back and briefly looked at the ceiling. The verdict was bittersweet. Our client has been saying he's not guilty the whole time, and that's what we tried to portray with the jury, but at least this verdict is not first degree. We don't have to deal with death penalty. And still to be tried in the case is the mother. She is also charged with first-degree felony murder and aggravated child assault and abuse. The state is also seeking the death penalty against her. And she remains jailed without bail. The verdict against McCaskell did not come easily. In addition to their 12 hours of deliberations, while sequestered jurors will not be allowed to take their cell phones in their hotel rooms, were stripped of television sets, both to avoid having them exposed to the news case. Then they boarded 2 vans under escort by deputy. They boarded 2 vans under escort by deputies to the hotel. It is not unusual for jurors to be sequestered. In 2001, jurors were sequestered during the murder trial of Troll Brothers Jurors were also sequestered during deliberations in the murder trial of Karen Toby. Defense attorney, jurors were also sequestered during deliberations. Blah, 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 blah. Not important. Okay, the jurors in the McCaskell case were welcomed back to the courtroom. I've been informed by the sheriff's office that my future as a travel agent does not look good, Foxman told jury, eliciting some chuckles. Then he sent back to the jury room. The juries knocked at the door and the point asking for water and another for a dry erase and markers. Then came the guilty verdicts. Someone in the jury room yelled hallelujah, and that followed 4 minutes later by a knock on the door, and the jury had reached its verdict. Ke'Andre Coleman was attending the Head Start school, as I mentioned. He had been excited to go on a field trip with Head Start to the zoo, but didn't go on the field trip. Instead, his mother, who was also supposed to go on the trip, kept him home. McCaskell had just gotten a job with landscaping company about a week earlier, but told investigators it was raining in Port Orange, so he too stayed home. That Friday began a series of beatings and several positional punishment that continued through the weekend and led to the child's death, according to prosecutors. Ke'Andre was beaten with shoes and belts. The paramedics testified the boy was not breathing and his arms were stiff, showing that the child was already in rigor mortis by the time they called 911. So he had been dead for a few hours before they even called. They said at least 2 hours before. She said the beatings and the forced position led to the boy's body breaking down, releasing toxins into his blood, which led to his death. Corona Bush testified she saw Ke'Andre bent over in a toe touch position for 3 to 5 minutes. She was at the door talking to Lewis about a dresser. A woman's 10-year-old son testified he was watching through windows. Ke'Andre was on all fours on the floor while McCaskell and Lewis beat him. McCaskell used a cord while Lewis used a belt. And the dude is saying that he didn't do anything wrong. Jaquana showed juries pictures of Ke'Andre as his body lay on the table at the morgue. His buttocks was barely bruised. One appeared to have a raw red abrasion. Prosecutors said one of his nipples had been nearly gouged off. In the recording, McCaskell tells investigators he spanked the child. I done popped him on his butt if she gave me permission to. And she said, and slapped the table several times to demonstrate. McCaskell said he did not beat his own 5 children for living with their mother in Georgia and whatever. He took that Lewis took the child into the room to punish him, but he did not go in there when the door was closed. He said that in the video that he did not believe the boy's mother would harm the child, although he told investigators if he found out she did, he would tell them. McCaskell told him the child was not learning his colors and was misbehaving at school, so he suggested that Lewis punish him by making him stand in the corner with his arms raised. After interviewing McCaskell, investigators left him alone with Lewis in the interview room. The video shows McCaskell telling Lewis that the investigators were trying to get him to blame her. She told him that investigators were trying to turn her on him. God took him from you, Kia, McCaskell tells her. Okay. And let's see what her punishment was for this. If hopefully she got the death penalty. Let's see. Okay, well, she pled guilty. All right. She pled guilty. He pled not guilty, I'm assuming anyway. Let me see what it says about her. Let's see. Where's her? her. Investigators found a piece of a broken belt in the child's room. They found a second piece of a broken belt nearby a blood-stained towel. Oh, my God. Let's see. Where is her? Okay, where is her damn... I want to see with her what they gave her. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm still trying to see what they gave her, if they gave her life or not. Well, it says that they were going for life against her. So I'm assuming that they went for death, but it's not telling me whether or not. She got the death penalty in this. That's what I'm trying to see what they gave her. You would think that this would be like an easy thing for you to figure out, and for it to be posted, like, you know what I mean? Okay, let's see. Blah 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 blah. Well, so far, guys, I'm not seeing anything about this asshole, and what she got, what her sentence was, but I am going to keep looking, because, you know why? I think we should know, right? We know what the dude's was. We need to know what the fucking mother's was as well. Let's see. Let's look up her. Let's look up her real name. Here we go. Okay, I got it, I think. Mom pleads to second-degree murder, son. Second-degree murder. Okay, here we go. She was charged with first-degree felony murder and aggravated child abuse and would have faced a possible death sentence if convicted. Instead, Lewis will face a minimum of 40 years and up to life in prison after reaching a plea deal with prosecutors. Okay, so she entered a plea deal, so 40 years minimum. So I guess we get that. We got that already. 40 years minimum for her. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This verdict just was updated September 27th. So I guess it's been going on since when it happened, because it happened a couple of years ago. It happened in 2013, so 14, 15, 16, 17. It took them 4 years to go to trial for this. Oh, Lord. May his soul rest in peace, these poor children. Just let me know what you guys think. It's just one thing after another. Okay, guys, this story happened a little while ago, but I found it bizarre. If that's the word. we're going to use.